Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, this is Lithium017 from my channel Nintendo Collecting. And today is the last day of 2013, it is New Year's Eve, so I thought it was definitely appropriate to bring you my top 10 games of 2013 from Nintendo consoles. So obviously games on this list will only be from the Wii U or from the 3DS. Both had pretty good years in terms of games. The 3DS has come leaps and bounds above what it was other years. The Wii U has a lot of work to do in terms of console sales, but it did bring us a lot of good games. Before I give you my top 10 list, feel free to comment below what your top 10 list is, maybe before or at the end of the video. I clearly couldn't play every single game out on a Nintendo console, so if I left any out, I apologize, but these are my favorite games to play this year. Because it is the year of Luigi, this game definitely made the list. New Super Luigi U from the Wii U. This is basically an extension to New Super Mario Bros. Wii U. All the levels are new, but they are using the same backgrounds and the same kind of artistic style. You play as Luigi, Blue Toad, Yellow Toad, or Nabbit to run through levels pretty quickly. I'd say 100 seconds or less for most levels. It was a lot of fun. I like how it was a bit of a different take. I really like speedrunning Mario games, so I really had fun with this. If you try and play it with 4 players, it might be a little too chaotic. With one other person, it's fantastic. Alone, it's also fantastic. Number 10, New Super Luigi U. Number 9 was a game I think a lot of people looked over for some reason. This is The Wonderful 101. This is from Platinum Games, and it's obviously published by Nintendo. It's not a perfect game, it's not an excellent game, but I would say it's a good to great game, and I really just had fun while playing it, and that's why it's in my top 10 list. You are basically using 100 different characters from all over the world to unite and try and defeat aliens. This feels like a comic book brought to life. The gameplay is a little bit quick, a little bit hectic, and sometimes hard to control, but it's always fun, and I really enjoyed myself with The Wonderful 101. Number 9 for me in 2013. Number 8 is another Luigi game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I enjoyed the GameCube version, which was out over 10 years ago, and it was actually a launch game for the Nintendo GameCube. But this time around, you're dealing with 5 different mansions. King Boo actually broke the Dark Moon into 6 pieces, and you've got to gather them up. And I really enjoy this game on the 3DS. I think they did well with it. I really like how Luigi has personality, how he gets scared, and how he's not just really a stock character of Mario. He is unique on his own. This is my 8th best game this year for you to play as well. Number 7 is a game I hope a lot of you played if you have a Wii U, and this is Pikmin 3. I like how in Pikmin 3, they gave us 3 playable characters, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. You kind of go between the 3 of them to try and strategize using your Pikmin to try and get fruits to turn it into liquid to make sure that you have enough food and everything like that. This game has at least these 5 Pikmin. I don't want to get into anything else beyond that. You really are just making sure that you can not kill your Pikmin, and every time I kill one of my Pikmin or they die in battle, I actually cry a little bit on the inside. It's amazing how attached you get to these little guys. Fantastic game this year. Next, number 6 on my list is going back to Luigi one more time, Mario & Luigi Dream Team. I really like the Mario & Luigi series. I thought they innovated this time in this game, and that's why it was higher than the other 2 Luigi games. This time around, Luigi is asleep, and as Mario, you go into his dreams, and Luigi actually comes to help you, and he basically does really strange things because they're his dreams, which is fantastic. You can interact with Luigi using the touchpad, which is really cool. Not the touchpad, but the touch screen. And I thought this game was a heck of a lot of fun. If you have a 3DS, definitely pick this one up. We're into my top 5. Top 5 Nintendo games of 2013 for me. Fire Emblem Awakening is number 5. I have not played through this game entirely. It is a very long game. It came highly recommended to me from a lot of you on YouTube, actually. This is an RPG game, Japanese style. You can play in both classic or casual mode, I believe. Classic mode, I would suggest, just like most Fire Emblem games, your character can die and they are gone forever. This is a very emotional game. You can build emotional relationships with other characters. Your character can actually get married, can have kids. Your kids can actually go on to fight with you, which is incredible. This is definitely one of the best games this year out on any console. If I've beaten it, it might even be higher on this list. Fire Emblem Awakening. Number 4 this year, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Now, I know I'm not supposed to put remakes probably on this list, but I'm cheating a bit here because this game is just so unbelievably good, and it's leaps and bounds above the GameCube version, which it did come out 10 years ago. They fixed the ending part of the game, which to me was really difficult to go do that side quest basically for a few hours. It always just dampened the game for me. They made the map amazing on the gamepad. They allowed you to put messages in a bottle to Miiverse. I really like the artistic direction in this game. In HD, it does look fantastic. Thank you for remaking this, Nintendo. Here's to Majora's Mask in 2014, probably on the 3DS. My third best game of this year, and if I was asked at the beginning of the year what would be your top 3 or top 10, I do not think one of these games from this series would make my top 10. Mine is Pokemon Y, or Pokemon X. Either one is amazing. I never really delved into the Pokemon series like I have now. My fiance and I are playing through these games. I have not beat the entire game, but I'm already really enjoying myself to put it at number 3. It's basically a whole new experience for me, the whole rock, paper, scissors dynamic. I chose Chespin as my starter, which is just what looked the coolest to me at the time, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to fall in love with its last form. But there's legendary Pokemon. The characters actually move around in the battles. They're not just stationary, which I've seen for so many years from the other games. So I'm really excited about this one to finish it. It's top 3 for me, possibly because I'm playing it so much right now and I really enjoy it. And my fiance is playing it for hours upon hours. Amazing game, definitely in my top 3 right now. Number 2 for me in 2013 is Super Mario 3D World. What a ridiculously good game. I can't believe how many good games Mario has had in the past 3 years. I think there's 5 of them that have been really exceptional in 3 years, which seems like they're chugging or milking it a little bit. But Super Mario 3D World is a whole new adventure. It really does feel like the sequel to 3D Land, but now you can play as 4 playable characters. I don't really prefer 4 characters on screen. The camera gets into issues, and you're usually bubbled and brought back to the group. But if you're playing 1 or 2 players, this is fantastic. The level designs are there from Nintendo. This creator in Japan, basically, I think it's the Tokyo studio that does this one. They really know what they're doing. They always make fantastic games. The cat suit is a great addition. And really, this game makes me smile the entire time. If I die, it's usually my fault. I love Plezzy in this game. If you've played it before, you know what I'm talking about. All the characters have unique attributes. It's such a fantastic game out this year. Definitely, for me, one of the best of the year. Before I get to number 1, I would like to do some honorable mentions because I didn't play the game enough to put it in my top 10. I would like to mention Rayman Legends, excellent game. Animal Crossing New Leaf, I couldn't really play that very much. I gave it to my fiance for Christmas, but I'm sure it might have broke our top 10 or my top 10 if I played it a little bit more. And Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D would probably have to be mentioned as well. It was also a remake, and I really didn't want to have too many remakes on this list. Okay, my best game of the year, I'm sure you could have guessed it already, is The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. This copy is still sealed, but don't worry, I have been playing my 3DS games. Some of them I have downloaded, because this one came downloaded on that 3DS. I can't believe going back to the same world of Hyrule from A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo would be so well done. Yes, the map does look familiar, but the way that they allowed you to go to any dungeon in whatever order you want, basically, by renting items, the way that you can just be turned into a picture or a portrait or a painting and go into the wall was used so intelligently in dungeons. A lot of the dungeons are some of my favorite in any Zelda game. The final ending with the boss, the whole thing is amazing. This is definitely my favorite game from Nintendo this year, and it really is a sequel to a game that was made on the Super Nintendo so long ago, decades ago. Make sure you comment below the video about what your top 10 games are from 2013. If you thought I missed any game, make sure you comment about that as well. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, and remember, as always, game on, and I will see you in 2014.